magnet fishing day today. I bought this sort of collapsible bucket thing. You can use them for all kinds of things. So I'm just gonna throw my finds in there and I can clean them up a bit easier. Another thing, I bought a lot of disposable gloves, the classic latex stuff, and I'm gonna be wearing them underneath these because my hands got disgusting from all the iron grind and iron dust from the last time. So I'm gonna try this today. First thing, massive nail. Not that crazy. See right there? And I think it's kind of stuck to the bottom, exactly the right spot where I hit it last time. Whoop, yeah. I think it's I pulled up like a piece of wire like this long the first time I was out, and I think it's the same thing, just wrapped down, stuck to the bottom of the lake. Ooh, 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 this was a nice one. Wow, there's actually quite a bit of ammunition in this place. Some piece of sort of serraged edged metal that could be a lot of things. This is the third nail of this size I pull up. And the exact same round, I think, of ammunition that I got the last time. Yeah, that's exactly the same size. Yep, that's exactly the same. Interesting. And one of these. Cool. Mystery object. Come on, baby. Maybe over time I can sort of loosen it up. No. Remember, this is a teeny tiny small magnet, 30 kilos, so it's both good and bad with such a small magnet, in my opinion. If I had like a super strong thing, I maybe have to wrestle that whatever object down there. Here I can just pull my magnet loose, and there's so much cool stuff I can pull up under 30 kilos. So to be honest, yeah, a little bit overkill maybe in my mind. Of course I can see the crazy thing about maybe pulling up an entire bike, or I watched German dudes pulling up entire safes, cracked safes. Yeah, it's the most weird stuff that people found in these sort of urban areas. I don't know what happened there. Whoa. Now that's a couple of nails. I think it's that mystery object again. Wow, it's actually giving. It's actually sort of loosening up from the... I lost it. Whatever it is, it's heavy. Oop. Wow, it's sort of ooh. Did you see all the bubbles? What is this? I have a strong connection. Maybe if I'm... Wow, look at all those bubbles. I'm just gonna record on this guy as well. Come on, baby. I think I have to keep a sort of a light tension on it. Oh, this is going to be difficult. But the connection seems good. Whoa, look at all those bubbles. believe I can actually pull this thing up. Oh, I think I need to be quick and catch it because... Wow, what is this? Ah, boring. Actually got one of those before. Something very similar. That is with a small $8 30 kilo magnet, and honestly I think that's pretty fair for the price, to be honest. I'm not just a big old steel post, not that interesting, but it proves that even a small magnet is not to be underestimated. Whoop, what is that? Take a look at this. I just pulled this, yeah, it's an ashtray full of dirt and disgusting something. This looks brand new. We have, let me start with the most interesting this time. This is one of those small weird ammunition rounds once again. This looks a bit more corroded, but it's gonna be, I'm sure it's the same round as the last time. This funky short one. If you know whatever this is, please tell me. Nice, and I'm pulling up a bunch of nails, all kinds of sizes, even, see if I can find it, a massive guy like this. And this is actually a small piece of chain with some piece of nylon plastic at the end. Probably also from a boat or kayak or something. Yep, these are not the same. The projectile is a lot different and it's a bit shorter than the one. The one I just pulled up is the one on the right, with the pointy tip. Gonna clean those up later. Let's talk about what I got today. Let's start on the sort of boring trash part. So many nails, I didn't even collect them all. Also these lead balls that I got the last time. I expect these are from fishing net. I talked about that in the last video. Yeah, all sort of weird hooks. Yeah, weird pieces of scrap. Some wire. This could actually be a homemade sort of MacGyver stove. It looks like. Then some of the more modern thing today was this perfectly good stainless steel ashtray. Yeah, this can't be that old, and probably the best known soda to mankind. And this is actually my very first single hook, nothing special. This is you know, these for your oars and your paddles in your regular rowing boat. I can actually use this, so I'm gonna keep it. Couple of old bolts. These could be pretty old. You don't really see the square nuts anymore, but I'm not gonna keep these. These are just, yeah. And the biggest thing today was this very similar thing, big steel bar that I pulled up last time. This thing has weird tubular mount thing at the end. Pretty sure this is a small part of an old bike, a bike rim. You know, the wheel, the tire would go right there. This is old welding rod. And for the more interesting stuff, oh, I forgot, I got a big Allen key. And these are also fairly old, massive nails. This one is actually perfectly usable, not that old though. And here for the more fun stuff. Today we actually have 4 different kinds of ammunition. I pulled up one of these the last time and one of these, the small one. So this is pretty interesting. I'm a little bit surprised that there's so much ammo in this small area. I'm gonna clean them up and tell you some of the numbers later. A modern scissor, a fairly old scissor. Actually, it's not rusted shot. That was kind of cool. An old pocket knife, completely the lamination or the plastic or whatever this is, I'm not sure. It's completely messed up and it's all rusted to pieces. This is also an old pocket knife. Yeah, used to be part of a screwdriver. And over here we actually have something interesting as well. Remember the old hand-forged iron, yeah, the little spike I showed you last time? Actually, one of the guys on Facebook told me that that could be pretty old, and this looks extremely similar. This is obviously only the head, and you can see all the rest is completely corroded away, but this is actually more or less complete. And this looks, yeah, handmade, hand forged, and this could actually be from the same period, more or less. So yeah, a massive variety of things. And let me just take a few steps back and actually show you this spot. I'll tell you that we're in the southern part of Denmark, and right in front of this floating dock thing is where I got everything. Very, very small area. So as you can see, big lake. I have the town in the background. Yeah, this little area of water is where I got all my stuff as well in the last video. So I completely forgot to talk about this. This I actually found a little bit interesting as well. This looks like a sort of a molten piece of iron, I think you say, or some sort of slag when you process iron and melt it down. You get this sort of slag out of the process, and this can actually be a piece from that iron steel making process. It looks very ore-like, I think the word is, like iron ore. So this is also pretty cool to be able to pull this sort of stuff up. Oops. This is the more interesting finds that I did today. I'm only gonna talk quick about the ammo and then these spikes. I mentioned earlier that I had 4 different kinds. That's not entirely true. I thought that these 2 were different, but it turns out that if you take a look, that the projectile is actually bent on this one. So these are the same. Let's take a look at this. There we go. This is the one with the best writing. It says 1040. And it goes EDQ. Can you see that? It's the same one. And then we have, I expect these 2, the one with the pointy ends, to be maybe some sort of military round. This is probably a regular hunter round. I got one of these last time, but dropped it. It says SMI at the top. And I'm actually not quite sure about the numbers. 68 682 or something. And then we got one of those tiny guys again. This is a bit more damaged actually. I destroyed the edge when I pulled it off the magnet, but this is the one I got last time, so obviously the same round. I'm beginning to think that this is maybe some sort of machine gun round. Maybe maybe they have been, you know, one of those in a belt machine gun. I don't know. I'm only thinking that because of the size. So pretty cool. The spike, I also think this is a very cool find. It looks handmade, and this could also be, one guy mentioned a spike for a smaller kind of railroad. The train, old types of train tracks. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't think that this is a spike for a train track. It could be. I'm not an expert in any way. If you saw my last video, I got this guy, and the metal looks very similar. I don't know if you can see some spots where it kind of shines through. They look very similar in states of corrosion and yeah, the way they're made, and the metal feels similar or very similar. So yeah, interesting. I also pulled up this little guy. This is just the top part of this spike or nail or whatever you want to